next segment, which will be before we take some of your guys' questions. So if you have questions, throw them in the chat box. I'm trying to copy them down so we can address them. But the next segment is something that we've done before, which is what watches we bought this week. I think we have, bam, watches we bought. There we go. Cool. So you want to start with yours?
Yeah, you can go first. I went
cool.
first with the this or that.
So what I bought this week, which was really cool, and if you haven't noticed, we're Panerais heavy this week, is something that a lot of you probably haven't seen before. Panerais, this one is basically new old stock, which is super cool. And could we get the close up there? Zoom in. Awesome. So if you see this watch and you're looking at that and you're like, Josh, I've seen that watch before, that's a Panerais 164. You would absolutely be wrong. You have no idea what you're talking about, and please log off immediately. Because this is called a PAM 301. That's right. So this is what they would call a ghost watch. Here, I'm going to go ahead and set it down. They call it a ghost. So what happens is when Panerais in the past, I don't think they do this anymore. I don't know if they do or not. But if they had, say they were going to make PAM 104s, right? They were going to make 1,500 of those this year, and so in order to control how many they make, or if cases break or whatever, so they'll make an extra 20% of cases, right? And same thing with the PAM, the 164. Say they were going to make 1,500 of those, they'll make an extra 20% of dials. Well, a couple years go by, it looks like they don't need any of those extra cases or dials. What they'll do is they'll smash those together and make something like this, and it's literally what they did. This is a PAM 164. Zoom in again. Let's get it away from my face here. It's a PAM 164 and a PAM 104 case. So it's a full polish from the factory case, like the PAM 104, with the dial of the 164. Right. This is a special edition. It's a caser, which I believe is 2008. Mm-hmm. They only made 500 of these. Right. So I've personally seen 3 of them in my last 5 years. I think the watch is awesome. I have never seen one unworn like this one. This one, actually, I got this. I'll be honest. I got this at a dealer show. So and it was an Italian dealer. So I think he might have actually got that in Italy. The watch is completely unworn. It's new old stock. I think it's super cool. So if you're into Panerais, if you're interested in something different that's like off the beaten path, that's not going to cost you $20,000 or $30,000, because I believe this watch is going to be less than 10. That's something that's super cool, and that's the watch that I really like this week.
Yeah, one of the things I like about that watch is it truly is, if you want to call it a ghost, it truly is something you don't see every day.
Right.
And you said you've seen 3. I may have seen less than that, to be honest with you. And what's really cool is, unless you're a Panerais head, a Panerais, you're not going to know what that is.
That's right.
Most people, even at a dealer show, you'll walk right past that thinking it's an over-polished, or the case is wrong, the dial's wrong, it's been messed with, or you might even think it's fake, and walk right past it, or and sometimes you can pick up great deals like that at shows where people aren't aware of the situation.
And I believe the reason why they call it a ghost is because it's not in the regular Panerais.
Right. It's also haunted.
It's not in their catalog, that's what it is, and it's haunted.
So we'll do the watch that I bought this week. I actually bought this today. And I was going to bring another piece on, and then I've always kind of liked this watch, so I figured let me bring this on. So what we have here is a very nice piece of ceramic.
Oh, dude, that's super cool.
I just noticed that we both happen to pick full Arabic dials.
That's right.
Panerais. So this right here is the 438. You guys know the 438, right?
Tutanero.
The Tutanero. Full ceramic case and bracelet, which wears really well. I am not a fan of Panerais bracelets, but there's something to be said for that ceramic bracelet. So this particular piece, obviously 44 millimeter case, the right Panerais size, and this is a 1950s case, which is their best-selling Luminor case, which we learned in the Panerais training we had.
By far, they said.
They by far eclipses the regular Luminor, which surprised me, to be quite honest with you. I prefer the regular Luminor case, but too narrow. I mean, can't go wrong. Full ceramic. These watches got really hot years ago.
So here's a story. That watch first came out. It was ungettable. I was working for Watch You Want. We got our hands on one like 2 days after it was released or after it was shipped. We had it on our website. I think we had it on a consignment basis. We were paying our customer, I think, say $20,000 for the watch. It's a 14.4 retail. He wanted $20,000. We said, all right, we'll consign it for that. Seems like there's got to be a market. Sold it. The first one of these watches that I believe in the U.S. we sold it for $22,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Certainly not worth that at this point. But I guess at that point, if you didn't want to wait, which there was a somewhat of a lengthy waiting list, you couldn't get it in the U.S. That's what you pay. Now this watch sells under 10.
Yeah, you can get a. I mean that'll probably be.
Was that $9,000 watch?
No, they're about 10 grand, 10.5. with full box papers, everything. You can get one that's like stickers. You know, if somebody held on to one for 11.5 or so, but you could readily get them for around 10.5.
Well, it's still in the catalog, and it's a 14.4 retail.
I mean, listen, if somebody said name a Panerai that it absolutely goes against pretty much everything that you like about Panerai, and then you still love the watch, that's probably the watch for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a big all-black watch fan. I'm not a big 1950s fan. I'm not a big bracelet or ceramic watch fan. And that's all of those things in one, and the watch is amazing.
And people, I've heard many people tell me that ceramic can scratch. And I'll tell you this, it cannot scratch. It can chip, it can break, it can shatter, it cannot scratch. If you see scratches on your ceramic watch or ceramic Panerai, right, what you're seeing other material rubbed off on it. And I've seen so many times where somebody came in and said, hey man, I have this, I got this watch, it's scratched, took it into their watchmaker's room, they have this essentially an eraser, and they erase it off, it's good as new.
Right.
So the issue with ceramic is that it will chip, it's brittle, strong, right? Won't scratch, but it is brittle, which is kind of weird for Panerai because Panerais are known for getting the hell beat out of them. This watch, I'm keeping this in pretty good condition, which is, I'm pretty surprised at how well the full polished case is held up for me. But I beat the living hell out of these watches. That's why I can't own ceramic Panerai, even though I'd really love to.
The watchmakers have this abrasive pad that's basically harder than whatever scratched onto the watch, but softer than the ceramic, so there's no damage that can be done. So do not try and clean your ceramic watch with a hammer. It will not end well for you.